Alright guys, so while you enjoy this background montage of everything going on, I thought I'd decide to just go over the leaks and upcoming quality of life changes that's going to happen to the game soon. So first of all, the sources I'm getting is from BCM Leaks. I know that a lot of content creators sort of usually go to this Twitter page to get everything because he seems like a reliable data miner. So some of the quality of life changes that he's sort of doing now, I'll throw it on the screen whilst you're watching this lovely farming that I'm doing for XP potions, because God knows I need all of them. So one of the things that's got me really intrigued, and I'm quite curious to see how they'll sort of implement this. I have a couple ideas of mine, but obviously it's down to developers how they sort of utilize it if it does happen. 3 times speed is essentially here, but I don't know if this is the case that it'll be on for all events, or if it's sort of the same system now where you complete an event and then you could just auto it on 3 times speed. So there'll be several device optimizations. I know there's been a huge number of complaints, especially in the KR and JP areas, that the game's really buggy. It's happened to me as well quite a few times where sort of my characters would disappear from the screen. You only see half of them. Like, I'm not sure if they're sort of alive or not. Sometimes my characters will fall underneath the map. I don't know if that's happened to you guys, or it's just the case that if you're walking in a certain area, the screen would just horrendously shake and vibrate quite aggressively. So it'll be, hopefully it sort of fixes that, and maybe we'll get like a cheeky compensation, maybe a couple pulls here and there, because you never know, a single could change your whole account. I know it certainly has for mine. I managed to pull one of the debuffers that's currently really strong in the meta right now on the standard banner in a single pull, which unfortunately I didn't bloody record. So it's nice to see that, and probably one of the huge changes that I'm really excited about is sweep tickets. So sweep tickets, skip tickets, there's a lot of different variations of what these are called. There's sort of a blessing in disguise. I can imagine them not being used in certain particular like dungeons, such as the Gear 1, because from this gameplay, how it's sort of really mimics Epic 7, I can imagine them definitely not using it. Because that's sort of the end game where people will spend most of their time after they friendship maxed and level maxed their units, just to really min max their gear and get sort of the perfect build. So that's sort of going to be like 70% of the time where you're spending the stamina just perfecting your characters. So I can imagine sweep tickets will be used for any past events completed on first time. You can use sweep tickets just to clear out a bunch of the same sort of level. So for example, obviously I've cleared this particular dungeon run for XP farms. I could just use all the sweep tickets I have, clear it out 10 times, and then that's it. I'll just get 10 runs worth of XP farms from this stage. So one thing that's going to be really curious to me as well is sort of how they'll distribute it, how many sweep tickets we'll get in a day. Is it sort of a daily thing, a weekly thing? So that's going to be really key, because it will sort of make or break an account in terms of how much energy and stamina you'll be spending. I know the whales will go sort of insane with this. They'll be able to max out every unit. If this ticket will be purchasable from the shops, or will be used with medals that you can acquire them, and so will they refresh? Is it a seasonal refresh? So it'll be really interesting to know how they will sort of use this if it does come to the game. And he just posted this, he or she posted this not too long ago, about 30 minutes ago now, with all the upcoming seasonal dates. So I'm just going to throw this up on screen for you right now. So we can see here up to season 4, these are potentially confirmed. Obviously, who knows what will happen if they're doing like device optimizations. It could be more or less there, but this will sort of give us an idea of how to sort of save our gems or save our summoning currency. So because obviously we know that some of the seasonal characters for the next season is going to be Yuna and the others. Sorry. And having these dates in mind will really help free-to-play players like myself sort of get an idea of when should we start saving, if the character's worth saving for. Hopefully when we get closer to the dates of the seasons, we get better idea of what their kits are, who the characters are, because obviously not only is it important to keep an idea of the meta, but if they're cool enough as well as the design. And speaking of the seasonal characters that's upcoming, obviously we got Yuno as mentioned. I'm going to throw this up on screen. We got, oh my god, I'm going to butcher his name, Goosh. It sounds like Gooch, but it's probably Goosh, which looks like a fire unit, or potentially a burn unit. Or you could be a buffer actually, grants buff to all allies, that's special. No idea on the passive awakenings for every single one, and then obviously we got Charlotte as the last one. All of these are sort of bare bones right now. We'll probably get a better idea. All the leaks will probably be more in depth once we get closer to the dates that we mentioned earlier for season 2 and 3. So definitely worth noting if you want to sort of get these units. I imagine like Asta and Yuno seasonal will be like link up characters, so probably have a dual attack that does crazy amount of damage. And just as I was talking through this now, that's interesting. Okay, so I've shown up the seasonal dates. I'm gonna refresh this just to make sure it's up to date. He just posted 6 minutes ago now the class and the RGBs of each character. So Yuno will be a blue debuffer, Charlotte will be a blue attacker, and Goosh will be a blue supporter. So all blues here, and obviously right now this meta is very blue oriented, not enough greens and reds in my opinion. So it's gonna be really strong for them. I think I can imagine Goosh into blue Yami is gonna be really strong. Blue Yuno he's going to be a debuffer. I just want to check his skills again quickly. So Yuno throws a blade of wind that travels along the ground, dealing damage to a single enemy. Creates a water whirlpool in the enemy camp, dealing damage to all allies. All enemies, sorry. Inflict powerful wind blade blow on the watermelon and the enemy, dealing damage to all enemies. Okay, so he says he's a debuffer, but doesn't show any debuffs. Plus, probably going to be within the passives and awakening passives. But I can imagine if he's going to be a debuffer, wind in my head will probably be geared towards like a speed debuffer, which will be a strong counter against I forget this guy's name, the person on screen right here. My mouse is over him. Could be a strong counter against this guy, because right now he's really strong. He's an amazing support, just really strong in the meta right now. That's it for now. This is going to be a short one, but I thought I might highlight some of the things, as well as the recently new announced sort of drops that that BCM Leaks just issued right now. If you guys got any thoughts and opinions, especially as a free to play, if you are like myself, it'll be good to know what you guys think. So yeah.